Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Roasting Your Gear Purchases, the series in which I savagely insult what you spend your hard-earned money on, kindly using my affiliate links from the description and pinned comment. Basically, the way that this works, if you have any gear shopping planned in the near or distant future, just simply do it through my Thoman or Sweetwater affiliate links below, and that enters you into any future episode of this series. It costs you not a penny more, but I get a small commission of 4.5%, which in the grand scheme of like everybody who does it, really helps out both this channel and Six String TV where the bigger projects go. So as usual, we are starting with Thoman. Let's get going, and I'll just pick one randomly off the top here. Ooh, MXR Rockman X1000 and it's a cordial cable. Look at that. Hold on. I swear I didn't plan this. They just handed me this shirt at like a trade show once, and I quite like it. It's very comfy. This isn't an Echo Hemp cable though. It's a CFY VIP long cable. So it's like a mono to stereo jack cable. That's a niche one. I have like one or two of those, and every maybe 6 months I'll need to use it. I don't actually know what this is. It's an analog chorus. Okay, gotcha. I'm a big fan of MXR pedals, especially the ones that are kept sort of simple like this one. I mean, my favorite pedal of theirs is literally just the Phase 90, which is one knob. And my second favorite is the Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive, which has two knobs, just volume and gain. I'm sure this is a very good chorus, and I know that this is a very good cable, so honestly, 5 out of 5 stars. That was a strong start. Honestly, we've been going strong with these, like the past 2 or 3 episodes, which is technically good, but I'm not sure how much I like it, because the shit ones were always, you know, the ones to make fun of. And there hasn't been a whole lot of that lately. If you have any stupid, shitty purchases planned, like just 12 egg shakers or something, we used to get a lot of that, so, you know, links in description. Okay, a Gator Quad Cortex TSA case, that is good. You take care of your things. Shala strap locks, again, you don't want to drop your shit, that hints at wanting to take care of your things. And 2 different gauges of the Dario NYXL. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Dario NYXL. I've said that a million times. The XL strings are just really not for me. But the XS strings by Dario are my strings of choice these days. If you haven't tried those, give those a try. I'm pretty sure that's just what my default affiliate links in the description are when you click them. But as much as I don't like these, they are still like a world or two above Elixir strings, which I really dislike. I'm simply gonna dock 1 point because these are not the best Dario strings, but still decent strings and protection for your gear. That warrants a 4 out of 5. Okay, an EBS PG28 flat patch cable. That's a long ass patch cable. The fuck you want to do with that? A Harley Benton Spaceship Power 40. Okay, hold on. So the Spaceship pedal boards are really good. Like, they're about as good value for money as you can get out of a pedal board. I actually have like a 40 by 80 centimeter one or something that's just in storage right now because I'm not using it. But I don't want to sell it because someday I might still need it, and it's a very nice board. But you bought the Spaceship Power, and that means there's a Harley Benton power supply baked into it. I've spoken very unhighly of the Harley Benton power plant supplies in the past, and that's because 2 separate ones have died on me, each after less than a year of use. The little error light on here will just like turn red, so it'll go from green to red and then won't go back and will just stop working. Proof that I was actually using it, there's still Velcro tape on the back. This was my main power supply for a board of 12 pedals, and it just completely crapped out. And then I think I had the smaller version with like 6 outputs, which also just died on me. So yes, they are affordable, but a year from buying it, you'll have to buy another one, so you might as well just invest the 80 bucks right away. And the thing about it being baked into your pedal board is that once it dies, which it will because it's the same thing as this, that's probably not going to go over too well, because then you can't replace that one. You'll just have to get an actual external power supply, but you won't be able to put it in the place where the old one was because it was baked in. So that is gonna eventually be kind of upsetting for you. In the meantime, enjoy your pedal board, but I have to dock a few points for the fact that it's that one because, oh, fuck, Harley Benton, just make good boards, right? I'm a big fan of Harley Benton. I've been a defender of theirs for years when people say that it's nothing but cheap junk, but certain stuff, like their cables and their power supplies, are just really not where the money's at. You got the short regular size version of these patch cables, and a Flammer FS22 delay and reverb. I haven't tried this particular pedal. I've tried a few Flammer effects, and I know that Flammer is owned by Moore, or vice versa, I'm not really sure, but it's the same company, which somewhat leads me to believe that their effects will be very similar, and Moore effects, like regular ones, just in pedal form, I've tried a bunch of and really enjoyed. It's a digital delay and reverb, can't really go too wrong with it. So overall, good, also probably good, not very good. I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Ah, there you go. I like what I see. The Dario XS strings, I like what I see. I think these are 9s. Yeah, the pink packaging is 9s. 10s would be orange. Oh yeah, there you go. 9 to 42, 10 to 52. So you got one of each to try out. Cool. Hope you enjoy them. A Hercules Stands guitar wall mount, Schala string retainer bar, a padded Richter strap, Dunlop nylon max grip Jazz 3s, and some Harley Benton branded replacement parts for a guitar. Okay, let's start at the top. Very good, very good. These Hercules wall hangers are also quite good. I like the locking ones, so your guitar can't just slide off the front. I'm not very fond of hanging stuff on the wall for some reason. That just kind of gives me paranoia, especially because I've had 2, thankfully, budget guitars kind of just fall because they were too heavy for the stands. Like, the stands came out the wall with them. Like, hanging stuff on the wall never gives me a good vibe, even though every guitar store on the planet stores their guitars that way and nothing happens. The string retainer bar is a feature that I don't have on any of my guitars. When they do have it, I remove it because I don't like it, but I understand that that's a way to compensate for the break angle of the headstock. Cool. Jazz 3s, very standard. I'm not the biggest fan, but obviously fucking everybody uses Jazz 3s. You got a high quality strap. This looks like it'll be grippy, so it'll prevent neck dive on stuff that has some. I've purchased these same black dome knobs from Harley Benton parts. They feel a little bit like ashy, like because of the powder coating. They kind of leaves a residue on your hands, but only for like a day or two, then it's fine. And you've got 3 Polish currencies worth of Floyd Rose locking nut screws. I'm sure those are fine. This is a 4.8 out of 5. I have nothing really to say about it, but giving it a full 5 would be unfair to the other 5s. 4.8. Somebody bought something fun. Ibanez RG470DX TMN. Let's see. Ooh, that is a nice purple, like purple into black gradient. I like that. I wish it was kind of purple like that all the way. I don't know why they fade it into black like that. I guess to just make it a bit more unique. But that is a very nice purple. That would be a very nice purple to like fully cover the guitar. One complaint that I just have from looking at it is the fact that they've given it such a bright rosewood fretboard. I don't know why you wouldn't make it like either very dark rosewood or ebony to just go with the very dark aesthetic of it. The white pickups don't even bother me. It's like, those are fine for a bit of contrast. This is a little much, just having it be like very light brown. That's not even a nice brown. Jatoba fretboard, I'm so sorry. Still ugly. 489 bucks, so these are going to be Ibanez in-house pickups. So HSH quantum pickups, those are cool. The budget ones with the Edge Zero are kind of, they are fine. It's one of the better budget trems. I just don't know the need for a tremolo on a sub 500 euro guitar. It just seems kind of like, I don't know, why would you do that? Like, it's not gonna stay in tune, right? It's gonna be kind of shit. It might last like for the duration of a gig and then it's gonna need retuning. You can block off the tremolo, maybe that's what you're trying to do. It is very beautiful. I like the, oh yeah, this angle is good. Get a good look at that. Yeah, that's a very sleek boy. So that's cool. You got some Dunlop lemon oil. Mixed opinions on this. Not from me, my opinion is very positive. I've used it for as long as I've played guitar. I've used the same bottle for as long as I've played. But a lot of luthiers say that it dries out your fretboard. A lot of other luthiers say this is all I use. I've had nothing but good experience with it. You got a very cheap and very small string winder, Ernie Ball skinny top heavy bottoms, and you also got the same Harley Benton parts dome knob, except this is not really going to fit on this guitar too well, because this has Strat style volume knobs, so I believe there's going to be split shaft pots underneath there, and you have the adjustment screw on here, so you're going to have to line up the screw exactly with the split shaft like slit. Otherwise you're going to squeeze the two halves together and then the pot is going to spin all lopsided and that's going to annoy you forever. So you've purchased the wrong pots, but I've made the same mistake before as well. This is cool. This is cool. Cool. Not a fan of skinny top heavy bottom, but I mean I can see where you're going with that guitar. And wrong pots. Overall, since it's kind of stupid that this has an edge tremolo at that price point, and since you bought the wrong pots, I'm gonna stick with a 4 out of 5, but a 4 out of 5 is 80%. Harley Benton single cut speed knob, so just Les Paul knob, a cordial cable, there we go again, hey, cordial. They really ought to start paying me for all this promo. Another one, that's cool, Joyo Narcissus Chorus, that's a shit-ass name, but okay, a Joyo Atmosphere Reverb, Tone City High Gain Distortion, okay, that's fun. Some all-parts pots, glad you didn't cheap out on those and go with Harley Benton. Some capacitors from Harley Benton, because that really doesn't fucking matter. A single-cut case, and a Godot Tunematic bridge. I think I'm starting to see what's happening. You have a single-cut that you want to mod. Harley Benton Chromatic Tuner, that's an odd one to go with, but I'm sure it's just as accurate as any other one. Flammer Multi-Modulation, Harley Benton Strap Master rubber strap locks, the crappiest kind you can get. A Harley Benton Spaceship 60, I was proud for a second until I kept scrolling, because you didn't go with the integrated power supply one, so the board will last you for life, but you then went with the power plant, which is gonna last you about 8 months, and then it's gonna die. At least you didn't go with the integrated into the board one, so when this dies, you can just throw it in the bin, and then get a good one when you've learned your lesson. Regardless, stop buying those. They are trash. Nobody trusts you when you say those things until it happens to them, right? When I started building my studio, I was 16 years old when I started building a home studio, so I didn't have money. So I bought a bunch of like Thomann in-house brand mic stands and whatever. This currently is an expensive gravity stand because this is gonna outlive me. But what I did back then was buy $14 mic stands, and I was surprised when they fucking broke on me after about 4 months each. So you are just kind of bound to do that and not listen to people in the beginning, and then eventually you realize, okay, I might just pay twice the price now, but get 18 times the longevity out of it, because it's the price to quality thing is not constant, right? It's exponential. You pay twice as much, you get like a lifetime's worth of quality, as opposed to 4 months worth of quality for half the price. And a shitty nylon Ibanez strap. Okay, good replacement part. I've bought these before as well. Cordial, very nice. Joyo effects are nice. Digital chorus and reverb, can't really go insanely wrong with those. It's not going to be on par with Strymon for 72 RON, whatever currency that is, but you know that going into it. Tone City High Gain Distortion, this one's probably fun. Got a push-pull coil split pot, one regular one. The all-parts pots are pretty much the ones I use for any mod project. Got some capacitors to cut out the high frequencies, I assume. Cool. Case, you take good care of your guitars. Godot Tunematic bridge, glad you didn't cheap out. The Godot ones are really nice. Tuner to stay in tune, fine. Modulation, I don't love those kind of multi-modulation effects on the budget side. There are ones that are kind of cool because they're expensive, like the Crazy Tube Circuits Sidekick and Sidekick Junior. I have the Sidekick Junior on my board, it's quite fun. The cheap ones kind of have a tendency to do everything slightly poorly as opposed to one thing really well. It might just be a space-saving solution, although I don't think so, because you've purchased one of the biggest boards that Harley Benton offers, which is great. These are fine. They're kind of cheap rubber trash, but everybody has about 6 of them. I'm not going to repeat myself on the Harley Benton power plant. You've made a mistake buying that, and I will dock points for it because I am ruthless, and you bought the most slippery strap that Ibanez has in their catalog. Overall, some nice pedals, some nice replacement parts. The occasional peripheral here that you've purchased is just not outstanding. But you purchased the right knobs because it looks like you're modifying a single cut. So overall, I'm gonna give you a 3 out of 5. Okay, somebody went budget pedal shopping. Harley Benton Mini Stomp The Deep. Is this just like a 5-band EQ? Oh, it's a bass EQ. That's why it's called The Deep. You bought the Harley Benton Spaceship 40 bundle. So again, you've saved a couple bucks by buying it as a bundle, but it has the power plant in it, just in a slightly cooler color than the one I have, but it's the same fucking junk. I don't know how much 107 NOK is. That's 99 bucks for the board and power supply. I mean, for some reason, every purchase in this episode so far has had the shitty power supply in it in some way or another, but yeah, okay, whatever. Behringer Heavy Metal Distortion, Behringer Noise Reducer, Behringer FX600. The Heavy Metal Distortion is surprisingly good. This noise gate is a bit slow. It's not the fastest one in the world. It's obviously a knockoff of the Boss NS2, but the Boss NS2 is still considerably better. Usually, they are kind of just head-to-head quality-wise, and it's the build quality where Boss is better because they're made of metal and not of the flimsiest plastic on the planet, but this one really is kind of lacking. I have it myself. And then you have the same digital multi-effect situation as earlier, so earlier it was like a flammer, and here it's a bunch of modulation effects in a shitty plastic enclosure by Behringer. Now I have my issues with Behringer, mainly horrible anti-Semitism and the way the company is run, but you know, that's not gonna stop people from supporting them. It's fine, I guess. Ugh, we're back with this. We're back with the snake patch cables. Why? Why do you do this to me? You realize that this gives me chest pains. These are not as terrible as the Harley Benton ones, but they are very, very terrible. They are not good. They're also incredibly bulky, right? Like, usually with a patch cable, you want it to be sort of flat head so that you can put the pedals as close to one another as possible without the heads touching each other. With these, the heads are incredibly bulky, so you do not get that. Same Harley Benton tuner as before. Again, I'm sure it's as accurate as any, and it's very space-saving. If you do want, like, a really nice tuner that's very space-saving, the Dario makes one that is also, like, a slim profile and not as big as the Boss ones or anything. This, I'm sure, is as good of a tuner, maybe. I don't know. The Dario EXL, not the biggest fan, but decent, I guess. And some Strandberg optimized strings. I believe that is because you need to restring them a certain way, like with ball ends on both sides, or no ball ends at all. I don't know, I've never owned a Strandberg, but I assume it's just like a format issue of like, you don't have to cut off the ball ends, or you don't have to like tie a knot into the strings or some bullshit, so it's cool that those exist, but I assume they are not going to be as good, just string quality wise, as if you bought the Dario XS, or some Dario XL even, but I can only assume because, again, I've never owned a Strandberg. I've played plenty, I don't know if those had those strings on them, and I had plenty of issues with the Strandbergs besides the strings on them. All the Harley Benton stuff besides the power supply is cool. The snake cables are kind of shitty. The Behringer effects, you can really do better, especially on the multi-effects thing. Tuner is fine, strings are fine, but I don't think this warrants more than a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry. Harley Benton Multiscale 8 Cube. Okay, $3.99. That's a fun price point for an 8-string. These used to really suck. I know that. I remember that. Because the very early Harley Benton Multiscale stuff used to not be called Multiscale. It used to be called Fan Fret. So not Fanned, but Fan Fret. And those were really shit. Those were like genuinely the worst 8 strings you could, like 7 or 8 strings you could get. They've gotten better, I know that. I don't know how good. Right off the bat though, I'm a big fan of the individual string bridges as opposed to having one multi-scale bridge. So just 8 little string saddles that are screwed on individually. I'm quite a big fan of that on anything multi-scale and also anything higher than 7 strings. That is a feature you don't really see on budget extended range for no particular reason. It's not like this costs significantly more. You have to screw a couple of more holes in the body. But honestly, like, oh, it's a set neck? Dude, okay, this is a set neck, and it has this. Like, yeah, the pickups are going to be kind of shit. They're going to be a little bit muddy, because for some reason Harley Benton pickups on extended range always have the mentality of, oh, the pickups need more bass response, which is the opposite of what they need, because the strings deliver plenty of bass. But you can change out the pickups, and you'll have these bridges, and you'll have a fucking set through neck. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm fully on board with this shit now. Because it looks beautiful as well. I really like the quilt top veneer. Yeah, it's just a quilt maple veneer. $400, honestly, I don't believe you're gonna be leaving it stock forever. If you are, that's fine as well. But the fact that for $400 you can get a mod platform this good, and you don't even have to mod that much about it. Like, change the plastic nut and put some better pots and pickups in there. You have, like, maybe another $250 worth of modifications to do, and you'll have a really nice guitar. I totally back this. That's a 5. It says USD as well, so you bought this from the US, which means horrid shipping cost, but like, it might have been worth it for this, honestly. Like, maybe Sweetwater doesn't have anything this good in like the budget 8-string category, because that is really nice. 5 out of 5. Ooh, Harley Benton. Not gonna read all of that. Telecaster. Let's take a closer look here. I want to see that color a bit up close. Yeah, that's what I thought. It has a bit of sparkle to it. That's what I wanted to check. Man, Harley Benton's been fucking killing it. These are so good. I don't love Telecasters. Like, the shape is still fugly to me because it's a standard Telecaster shape. I also know that this is gonna play in a way that I wouldn't enjoy because I can see the fret size from here. This is not my fret size. But that is me nitpicking a guitar that isn't mine, right? If you enjoy the way a standard sort of vintage spec Telecaster plays, then I assume that's why you bought it. Like, it has the vintage style tuners as well. This is not hiding what it is. Frets not width. Okay, so it doesn't say what material it is. Oh, it's $150 though, so I'm gonna assume it's plastic, which is fair enough. The finish on this is really nice. I know the Roswell single coils are fine. You won't feel an immediate need to change them unless you plan to like make this a mod platform to record an album with. Besides that, like if it's just supposed to be a little beta guitar for noodling, or if it's supposed to be a first guitar even, this is gonna be tiers and tiers above what I had as a first guitar, my Squire Bullet Stratocaster. I love the binding on it and everything. This is really solid for the money. Honestly, for that money, I'm gonna dock half a point because I hate Telecasters and therefore you have bad taste in my eyes. But 4.5 out of 5 stars, just for how good of a guitar it is. Yeah, der nächste. What are you doing to me? This is like the 6th Harley Benton power supply in this episode. You are putting Harley Benton power supply people's kids through college, and I'm sweating over here. Stop buying these. You see this? See that? Stop buying it. It's bad. This is not good. This is a terrible product. There's fucking hair on it because it has the Velcro on the back. This is a terrible product. This is one of the worst products Harley Benton makes. The only worse ones are the patch cables. This is the worst crap you can buy from their catalog. Buy everything else they make because it's usually quite good, especially for the money. This is terrible. I've had 2 of these. I don't know where the little 6 output one is. I think that's the one you bought here. This died. I can't plug it in for you because I don't have like a free outlet at my disposal, but I would show you. This light turns red and it doesn't turn green again. This is broken. The other one, same situation. It just broke someday. I turned it on, played for 12 seconds, and then it died. Terrible, bad, stop buying. You don't even get 1 star because this is all you bought. This is a 0 out of 5 star purchase. My cortisol, this is not good for me. Thomann gift certificate, €10, but then it says you spent 250 and I also got 250 worth of commission. It says you bought one €10 gift certificate. How does that amount to $250? Maybe you bought 25 of them? I don't know. Regardless, thank you. You probably made somebody happy with that. It's very happy if it's a €250 gift certificate. That's cool. Okay, fun. Harley Benton guitar and bass string cutter. Yeah, okay, that's, you want to cut strings, you want to suspend your guitar from your shoulders. This is about the worst way to do it, just a Thomann house brand nylon strap. We're back to D'Addario XL strings, and the reason I actually found this one interesting, a Harley Benton G112 vintage. You snagged quite the B-stock bargain here. This is a 1x12 Celestian vintage 30 cab. These are Chinese V30s, I believe, so they are not made in England. Some people say there's a sound difference, some people say there isn't, but honestly, these are great value for having just one V30 if you just want to run something like, I don't know, an orange micro dark or one of those little Joyo band amps through it or something. Very solid, I like that. I don't like this, but it's good, like I said. This is shit, and this is just a string cutter, so I feel like that averages out to a 3.5 out of 5. And for a last product, let's get some Sweetwater action going here. This is the product ID, so I have to enter that into the website. And it's... what an underwhelming end to today's episode. It is Dunlop Tortex standard picks, 0.73mm. At least you got them in a fun color. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you want to be in the next episode, and especially if you have some wacky, funny purchases planned, go ahead and use the links in the description. We don't get a lot of Sweetwater purchases through here, which is upsetting because that means it's usually only the last purchase at the end of an episode, or maybe the last 3 or 4, and the rest is entirely Thomann, which is fine. It is a little saddening for the Americans, you know? But still, you can still do your gear shopping down there. Pinned comment, links in the description. If you want to shop the stuff that I make every single video with, my microphones, my interfaces, my cables, this and that, then there is a specific link for my gear list on Sweetwater in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you to insult you some more in the next episode. Goodbye.